All right, y'all, so we are officially on part 8 of the Victoria Dollhouse Farmhouse. Notice I didn't say of building it because, baby, Big Mama, she is done. We is done building the Victoria Dollhouse Farmhouse. If you have not watched part 1 through 7, go ahead and watch all those parts, and I will show you how I got to this stage. But part 8, we are going to be doing a turntable. That's right, we are going to be working on a turntable so that we are able to turn this around, and so that we'll be able to do a yard as well on that turntable. And then we're also going to be doing some decor. So we're going to start getting our decor ready for the Victoria Dollhouse Farmhouse, starting with the front. This is part 8 of the Victoria Dollhouse Farmhouse, but not of building it, but continuation. All right. Alright, so this is a 2x4 that I am going to build the turntable on. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and prime and paint it white. I'm going to paint it white because when you have like a snow scene, it'll just be easier for it to just be white. And of course, you can have your fake grass. You can lay your fake grass on it on your summer days and spring days. But when it's winter, you can just take that off and it'll just be white for like the winter or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and prime it and then paint it white. And this, once again, is a 2x4, and I got this from Menards. So that's what we're going to do first, is prime and paint. So this is the primer I'm going to use. And then the paint I'm going to use is Bare. It's in the color Bit of White. All right, y'all, so boom, this is after priming and painting it. And then after that, we are going to go in with a clear polyacrylic top coat. This is just going to give it more protection from scratches and things like that. All right, y'all, so boom, that polyacrylic is on the surface so that it's protected from scratches. All right, so this is the turntable that I purchased from Amazon, and as always, all of the items that I have used will be posted in the description box under Dollhouse Building Materials. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put that board that I just painted white, I'm going to put it on top of this, and I want to kind of make sure that it is centered, and then all I'm going to do is I am going to place the dollhouse on top of that. And just like that, you have yourself a turntable for your dollhouse. All right, so boom, the next thing I'm going to do is the landscaping. Now, what you can do is go ahead and buy that fake grass if you want. I don't want to buy that because I don't like the look that it gives, like that plastic look, nor do I like the color, especially since I've already did my bushes and it's going to be much greener than that fake grass that you can buy. But like I said, I'm not going to do that, but you can do that if you want. I'm going to go ahead and make my own landscaping, especially since I still have some of this moss left over. So if you want to know how I made this, you can go ahead and watch that video. I will also tag it in the description box, but I am going to use that moss. So that is what you're going to be needing for the next part of what we're going to be doing, which is making the landscape. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get, I believe this is called like tag board. It's just basically a thicker type of paper than regular paper. So you're just going to get some tag board and you're just going to put that underneath your dollhouse. So it's thin enough to go underneath like that. And then I needed 2 pieces because you want to go from the outside of the house all the way to this side. So you're going to put 2 pieces together like so, and then you're just going, you want to make sure that this is kind of straight in there. So you're just going to put a piece under there, and there is a piece under that side as well. Kind of put them close together, and you're going to just outline your house here. So you're going to take a pencil and you're just going to go around the house just like this. And you're going to do it on this side as well. All right, so boom. Once you make that cut there, you are going to need to make another cut. This cut is going to be so that this is staying on top of the turntable. So you're going to need to make another cut right across here. So I marked it there and I marked it here. And I'm going to make that cut there. And then on the other one, we're going to make the same cut. So I didn't mark it this one yet, but I'm going to mark from here all the way down to here and cut that excess off as well. All right, so next you're just going to take your little template here and you are just going to lay it across 2 cardstocks because one isn't big enough. You're just going to glue it onto the cardstocks here just to give it a little more stability because I'm not using cardboard because it's thicker and I don't want it to be too thick for this area down here. So we're just using cardstock because it's thinner than cardboard, but it's still going to give it some stability. Then once that is complete, you're just going to cut those out. All right, so now that they are all cut out, I am just going to cover it in the moss that I did from a previous project. I got extra moss, so I'm just going to go ahead and glue that moss onto our templates here. All right, y'all, so boom, the grass is done. And then, of course, I had made these cute little bushes ahead of time. So I'm just going to go ahead and place those in there. Now, when I made these bushes, I only made 4. And it's looking like this. But then I thought it needs another bush on this side. So I went ahead and just made that one just now as well. And this is what it's looking like with the grass and the bushes in place. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put our flower boxes on. And how I'm doing that is I am using some of this double-sided tape. Now I tried to use this tape, the Scotch double-sided tape, but this was not strong enough to hold the wood boxes. So we're going to use something stronger. So I got some of this, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little slither of this, so just like this much. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the flower boxes, like so, and then I'm just going to stick that on here, take this off, and we're going to go ahead and stick it on the dollhouse. Now, if you are one of those people that don't think you're ever going to be taking these off, then you can go ahead and glue them on. But I'm not sure if I want to keep these on here or not, so I'm going to do the tape method. And now all you're going to do is go ahead and put all those flower boxes around the whole house. And do not forget to put them on the side over here as well. All right, and this is what we have so far with those flower boxes and also with the front landscape. So now what we're going to do is we're going to finish putting in our exterior plants. And once again, if you want to see how I made these, I made the plant pot urns, I made the flower boxes, I made these rose bushes, and I've also made these hanging baskets that we're going to put up next. I made that all in a video called Making Exterior Plants for Your Miniature Projects. I am going to post that link at the end of this video as well for easy access to see how I made all of my exterior plants. So for the next part, what I did was I went ahead and bought these little miniature hooks. Now you can get away with doing this next part with just a nail or a tack, but I went ahead and bought these hooks. It does come with 5, and I do need 5 to hang my 5 baskets. They are all different colors, which isn't going to matter because they're going to be behind this part anyway. So you don't have to, repaint them or anything, but you do have to just cut off one spot, which is the top part. And I did this one here. So you are going to cut the top part off, and I just used a pair of pliers for that because the top part is not going to be able to fit under this part here. So you do need to cut that top part off so that these will be able to fit under here. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna cut them all so that they look like this. All right, and now that all of your hooks have been cut, you can go ahead and start gluing those basically in the middle behind here. And then of course on this side as well. All right, y'all, boom, those are put up and hanging now. So what we're gonna move on to is the lights, the address numbers, and the mailbox. All right, so I went ahead and purchased this mailbox and these light fixtures online. So what I'm gonna do first, because I do want my mailbox to be over here, and then I do want my lights to be on either side, I'm going to go ahead and put my mailbox in first, and then I'll figure out the light situation. But I do want my mailbox to be right here. All right, y'all, so boom, the light fixtures and that mailbox is in. So now we're going to do the address numbers. All right, so these are the numbers that I bought. I bought these online, and I think I want the address to have 4 numbers. Some addresses have 5, some have 3, and some have 4. And I think I want mine to have 4, and I think I'm gonna do 2025 for the year that it is. And I also think I'm going to paint them black to match the color scheme of the house. So we're gonna paint 2025 in black, and then we're going to go ahead and put those on. Okay, so y'all, I was literally painting this number by number with black paint. And then I thought I could probably just use a Sharpie. So that's what I ended up doing. I just used a Sharpie. And now I'm going to go ahead and put the address numbers on a pillow. All right, y'all, so boom, there is the house number. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the furniture. Now, I bought these online, and I think what I'm going to do with these is I think I'm just gonna go ahead and paint these black. I think the black furniture will go good since the trimming, the doors, and the railings is all white. I'm gonna go ahead and do these in black. All right, y'all, so boom, these are all completed, so we can go ahead and place those on the dollhouse. All right, y'all, so boom, this is what the deck is looking like with the furniture in there. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make some cushions for the benches out here. So that is what I'm going to do now, is make some cushions, because I do want the seating to have some cushion on the seating. So we're gonna make some cushions and pillows for the benches here. All right, so for everything that I have stated that I have bought online, make sure that you check my Amazon shop cart. It's going to be in the description box. It's going to be titled Dollhouse Accessories. Check that to make sure that I did not get that from Amazon first, and then if you don't see it in there, then you may have to do some searching online to figure out where else I bought it. But most of the things that I have bought, including these, I have bought from Amazon. So these are what we're going to use to do the mats for the seating outside, and also pillows. We're also going to use some of these to do the seating and pillows for the window. That's going to be here, the window seat that's in here. We're also going to use some of this to do those as well. So once again, if I say I bought it online, like I did these, it's probably online from Amazon. So check Amazon first before doing some research to see where else you can get it, because Amazon may not have it as well. Even if I did get it from Amazon, it may be out. So that is what I mean when I say I got it online. Check the Amazon shop cart first. So after I looked at my seating, I decided that I did not want a plaid cushion cover for my seating. I don't want a plaid cushion for my seating. I think the plaid is better as pillows. So I'm going to go with plain black. I've already had some plain black cloth that I'm going to use to do the actual seating. And then what you're going to take, or what I did, is I got some foam. Now you don't need a big thick piece of foam board for the seating. You just need a little thin piece of foam. And we're going to cover this in the fabric, and that is going to be our seating. So you're obviously going to need to take measurements of your seating that you're going to be using. Take measurements, cut a piece of foam out, and then we're going to cover it in the fabric. All right, and here are my 3 pieces for the seats. This one's for the big chair, this one's for the small chair, and this one is for the swing. Now, anyone that has watched my previous videos know anytime I use foam, I like to put cardstock on the back, just so that this can be more durable while being handled. So I do have cardstock on the back, but in this case, I'm only going to put it on the back. I'm not going to put it on the front. I am now going to cover this in cloth, and this is going to be basically the top of the seat, and then this will be the bottom of the seat. All right, y'all, so boom, the seat cushions are done, and all I did to wrap the fabric around was I just literally hot glued it to the back. Wrapped it and glued it to the back, and that is how you have your seat cushions. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make some pillows. Alright, so how I make the pillows is I just take a cotton ball, I just place it in here, and then I fold this over. So however big you want the pillow, that is where you're going to cut. I'm going to cut here, and then I'm going to cut along this line as well. So there's like a line here that separates the blocks from one another. So we're going to cut there, and then along here. And then along here. You're going to put the cotton ball back inside. And then you're going to glue one of the sides down. So I'm just using a hot glue gun. And then we're going to put glue on the sides again. Then you have this pocket. What you're going to do with this pocket is you're going to fill this up with more cotton balls. So it may not need a full one, so just kind of tear some in there, and just like you're stuffing a regular pillow, you're going to stuff some cotton in the pillow. And then a little more. And that should be good. We're going to glue this down. And then we're just going to kind of clean that all up. So make sure that you have some really sharp scissors so that you can make nice, clean cuts. And then that is how you have a pillow. That's how I make my pillows. Now, if you do happen to get like some glue that's showing through like the red, you can take a red Sharpie and kind of color that in, and then kind of gently take like a piece of tissue and wipe that up. You can also do it with the brown, you can also do it with the black. If you get some white from the glue that kind of sticks on there, you can take a black Sharpie and kind of just mark that on there. I had to do it to the other pillows, but I didn't have to do it to this one. Alright, y'all, so boom, here are the pillows. Alright, y'all, that is going to conclude part 8 of the Victoria Dollhouse Farmhouse. Now, I turned my flash off so that you guys can see that these lights do light up. Ain't that pretty? Anyways, we have built ourselves a turntable. We have made ourselves a front lawn. We have put out our exterior plants, and we decorated the bottom deck. And part 9, we are going to finally move inside to decorate the inside of the house. And y'all, I don't know if I want to start in the attic first, if I should do the second floor, the deck on the second floor, the laundry, the half bath. if I should move on to the bedroom suite that has the full bathroom in here. And there's a closet back there. I don't know if I want to move down to the kitchen and do the kitchen first, or if I should do the living room first. I don't know what I want to start with. So as always, if you guys like what you see, go ahead and hit that like, go ahead and hit the subscribe, and then go ahead and hit that bell so that you don't miss the next notification of when I post my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.